Hello, this is Tom for another CentreStack tutorial. Today I'm going to do a really short video on how to modify the permissions on your migrated shares that you have in CentreStack. So I've created a tenant, and this tenant has a My HR Files folder that has been shared with several users. So I'm going to log in as the administrator for that tenant, and I'm going to look at the folder My HR Files. Now, right-click on that and I can manage the permissions. If I go into Folder Permissions tab, I can see that User 2 and User 1 admin both have access to this folder. If I want to change their permissions, I can hit the Settings button and then alter the permissions here. Now, what if I want to go inside that folder and change the permissions on the folders within it? Now, that's pretty easy. You just right-click, manage the permissions of that folder, and then you can see I have User 1 admin as a administrator of this folder, and I'd like to add another user. So I go existing user or group, and then I choose User 2 and hit done, and then I want to apply that. But first I'm going to remove some of the permissions. I'm going to turn off delete and share, so this user cannot share anything in that folder and they can't delete it. I don't think I'll let them write either, so they can't create anything new or change anything in this folder. Now, once I've done that, I'll log out and I'll log back in as User 2. So now, logged in as User 2, I can go into my HR files and go to User 1's folder where I now have permissions. And there I'm going to download this file and then edit it on my system. So I'm going to add a little text here. I'll close and save that. Now I'm going to bring up the folder where that's located. Now I have some other older files here. So you can see that Windows has added a 1 in parentheses for that file that was just updated. So I'm going to delete the original, rename it back to what it would be in CentreStack, and then I'm going to copy that up to CentreStack. As you can see, I'm not allowed to upload to that directory because I don't have right permissions. This was designated in those settings that I showed you. Now I'm going to log out and log back in as the administrator. Go back into that folder and modify the permissions again. Okay, so now as I edit, I'm going to add write permissions. I'm going to apply and log out and log back in as User 2. Now logged in as User 2, I'm going to go into that folder. I'm going to get that file that I modified and drag it up there to CentreStack, and it's going to say, yeah, this is there. Do you want to change it? I say yes. And now you can see that I have 3 versions, previous versions and the new one, and it shows who updated it, User 2. Now I'm going to log back out, log back in as the admin. Go back to that folder, right click and go to Manage Folder, Folder Permissions, edit my settings, and then delete that user. Apply, log out, log back in as User 2. There's the My HR Files folder. I'm going to try to go into User 1 and it will not let me because my permissions have been revoked. So as you can see, this is fairly straightforward. It applies in a common sense sort of way. I hope this is helpful. If you found it useful, please share, like, and this is Tom, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.